What a better way to kick off this Raw Appreciation Night than for us to appreciate the real moneymaker of the WWE, and that would be, Mike,
John Cena. The guy the kids tuned in to see, they got to see him right off the bat.
So that way, if they've got an early bedtime, they can see Cena, they can go brush their teeth, put on their PJs, and go to bed, like maybe the Tasteless one did. I don't know where he went, took off to. Anyways, so Cena, he's having some back and forth with the crowd, and he announces what the match between him and Ryback's going to be at Payback.
Three hells.
There's 3 stages of hell, too?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like 3 times the awesome for Cena.
So
3 different matches
we
on
now
one
have
pay-per-view.
3 matches announced for this pay-per-view already.
We have a lumberjack match.
Tables.
And an ambulance match.
Ambulance.
Yeah. How about that? Now, I found it very, 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 very funny that Cena even entertained the idea that they were even going to need the ambulance match.
Exactly. John Cena's going to beat him in the first 2 rounds, and then he's just going to throw Ryback in the ambulance.
Yeah, pretty much. But even with this promo segment, it establishes the main event for the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. And then, after Ryback comes out and they do their little thing, we get on to the real important stuff. You're setting up the main event match for tonight's show with Axel and Heyman out there. I mean,
yes.
This was a
great main event. I mean, I love Raws where I know what the main event is going into it.
This was a great way to kick off the show, especially because it started off with the moneymaker, the way it should. Erection. The positivity is not just about the show kicking off with the moneymaker, which I knew you appreciated. And I know you did that. But a lot of the in-ring action was really, really good and up to snuff this week. Look at ADR and Big E Langston.
Yeah, not only was I not completely bored, I was only half bored tonight by this, 3rd match that they've had.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, true. And to the point where, the screwy ending didn't work for Big E this time, but by golly, was it entertaining.
And you're maybe excited about the fact that they might be splitting AJ and Big E off from each other.
Yeah, let's split them up, see what happens. I'm positive that both could go on to good careers without each other, but I'm excited to see what they do.
Now, another interesting development on this show was the match between Fandango and Wade Barrett. They used the WWE app to determine Miz's role in this match, which was
a referee as voted on by the people on the app.
But what is really interesting about this, and in a clear sign of the times that the Divas division is starting to matter again in the WWE, Fandango beat Wade Barrett. That's not what's important. He's only the IC champion. It's when Summer Rae ends up pinning Fandango, since he beat Wade Barrett, that would either A, make Summer Rae technically the IC champion, or at the very worst, the new #1 contender to the IC championship.
I'm interested to see what will happen next week when they bring out Summer Rae with Fandango and how they interact. I hope it's not another Ike Turner situation.
Throbbing.
Yeah, I just got done handling my business. What I want to know is when we gonna get some Smoky appreciation around here, motherfuckers. All these Steam Q&As this channel doing, where the fuck the hashtag Smoky Q&A at? If you want a Smoky themed Q&A in the future, go in the comments and say hashtag Smoky. Yeah, enough of this shit. I'm out. I'm just fucking with you. Hello, ladies. Yes. Appreciate this, bitches. Yeah.
British fisting.
The road of appreciation continues for this week's Raw, and I have a special mention here for that 6-man tag, the Tons of Funk and Kali versus 3MB.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for this match, we wouldn't have been able to catch some real treats on ESPN Classic.
Exactly. We would have missed Bill Apter interviewing the great Wahoo McDaniel.
And we would have also missed that great AWA Tag Team Championship match between the Midnight Rockers
and the Midnight Express.
I miss Shawn Michaels' curly mullet, man. That thing was spectacular. And it's only because of this 6-man tag that we got to see that stuff. So that was good. I'm sure you actually watched this.
Yeah, I actually watched it because somebody had to. I mean, I love seeing the great Khali try to bark out the happy birthday song. Happy birthday. He's trying. It's cute.
Speaking of trying and being cute, the Divas tag.
Yes.
The Bellas versus Natalia, the birthday girl, and who else?
Yeah, and tons of fun. Ashley, yes.
Yeah,
She put on a little weight, yeah. But
did.
big girls, they love him too.
Yeah, Caitlyn, indeed. She does kind of look like Ashley, only pudgy. This match is interesting because the birthday girl's in her hometown,
Yeah,
So the heels go over.
of course. What else would you expect?
That's the way you get a heel heat, and then they have him sing happy birthday to him afterwards.
Yeah, it made her cry.
And I love when the WWE sticks to those good old traditions. And speaking of good old traditions that they stick to, Randy Orton and Sheamus versus the Rhodes Scholars. This is worth so much appreciation. We don't even need to tell you who wins because you should already know.
No, but the focus needs to be on the entrance, the unique way they're introducing Randy Orton and Sheamus versus the Rhodes Scholars. They had Randy Orton come out, pose, commercial. Come back from commercial, there's the Rhodes Scholar standing outside, and then they introduce Sheamus.
That was awesome.
They're just mixing it all up, just making it brand new and fresh for everyone.
But you know what? It takes somebody the caliber of Randall Keith Orton to be able to pull off that type of extended entrance, don't you think? Anytime that I get a pose in the corner, baby oil, and an RKO, I consider it a good night's work, don't you?
Very good.
Sexy.
And let the appreciation flow like ketchup out of a bottle. Yep, I meant to say that actually. You look at this highlight reel segment. When you find out that Paul Heyman is going to be on the highlight reel, you know.
I was ready for it. I was excited for it. And when it happened, I almost couldn't contain myself.
Almost. I'm sure there were a few guygasms out there in the YWC. And frankly, who could blame you? Because this was very, very, very good promo work by both of them. The interaction between both Jericho and Heyman was very good. I thought both of them were on the money. But the big announcement that came out of this, the big development that we have appreciation for, he's coming back.
I know, we're getting Jericho versus Punk at the pay-per-view, but why can't they just give it to us on a Raw? I mean, that's what I really want. I can't wait for the pay-per-view.
Okay. But
A Raw, come on.
But it will be on the pay-per-view, though.
I know, and it'll be a 5-star quality match again, but why couldn't they just give it to us for free on
And
a
the
Raw?
good thing is we've seen these guys wrestle enough that their chemistry is going to be spotless. They're going to flow evenly from beginning to end of the match. This is going to be the match of the night in the pay-per-view, no question about it.
Maybe match of the year.
Maybe. I can't wait. I don't know about you guys. Pulsating. Metal D has seen the light, and he is so bright about this week's Raw that he didn't even choose to wear his sunglasses this week. And speaking of the brightest of the shining stars, we have got to talk about the Shield. Another Raw, another big night for the Shield. I know you want to talk about Kofi versus Dean Ambrose
definitely.
for the U.S. title.
Kofi Kingston, whoever he's in the ring with, it's always a phenomenal match. As soon as he gets his botch out of the way, I mean,
And he
Kofi
did
is on
instantly.
fire. Yeah, he got that right out of the way, and Kofi and Ambrose just put on a great match. It went back and forth. I honestly didn't know who was going to win this by the end.
It was almost like Kofi got so winded because of the fast pace of this action that his chest kind of sunk in a little bit.
A little bit, but he just had a baby.
Apparently. But the tag team match, the
Yes.
Shield versus Hell No, this thing was,
Yeah, 3 segments.
yeah. I mean, you look at this and you see the chemistry that Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins have in the ring together. Daniel Bryan was a star here.
Yep.
The team of the Shield, Reigns and Rollins, end up going over. You could see where Reigns is being injured, so they wisely hid Reigns for a lot of this match, and Rollins went out there and had a big night. This was a really good match. Better than the pay-per-view?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Literally, this was my favorite match on Raw tonight.
It literally was. Out of all the good things that happened on this show, this probably was the highlight of the night. And like you talked about, why sit there and make us pay for it when we can get it even better for free on TV? Thank you, WWE.
Perky.
Our appreciation for Raw this week is so huge that we're going beyond the matches, beyond the in-ring segments, to talk about some of the backstage stuff that happens. And I know for you, this was something that really caught your attention and opened your eyes a little bit. As much as you dislike Daniel Bryan, you kind of learned your lesson tonight, didn't you?
You know, Bret Hart was backstage, and it's Bret Hart Appreciation Night. Here in America, it's Memorial Day, but more important, in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, it's Bret Hart Appreciation Night. And he was backstage talking to Team Hell No and lifting up Daniel Bryan's spirit, saying, "You're one of the best pound-for-pound guys. Go out there and be a champion."
Yeah, you liked that, didn't you?
Not really, but I had to be positive. At least he's trying to help the younger talents, unlike some other people.
Well, and you know, when we're talking about things that on the surface seem a little puzzling or troubling, but end up really being a huge positive if you look a little bit deeper, we got another surprise appearance.
Well, since it was Bret Hart Appreciation Night, who better to show his appreciation than Shawn Michaels, HBK? I mean, the guy looks like he's a little bit homeless. But he's backstage at Raw, so there's always a spot for him. He's got a place to stay. He's best friends with Triple H.
And he can talk about growing beards and everything.
I know, because everybody else in the WWE seems to be doing it. I mean, they must have a shortage of razors there.
And just going on with Bret Hart Appreciation Night, I know you have to have a real appreciation for the WWE app after this, because you made us sit there and watch this whole entire Bret Hart Appreciation Night afterwards. Why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, some great legends, great Canadian legends at that. Pat Patterson was there. Jericho came out. Shawn Michaels came out for his little 3-minute deal. And then to close the after show, the Bret Hart Appreciation, they had Vincent Kennedy McMahon come out. And how great was he? Just closing the whole thing up. It was great.
Was it?
It was.
Was this something you were glad they put on the WWE app so you could consume it?
Absolutely. It's the one time that I'm very positive about the WWE app and its plausibility in this company.
Because if you didn't have the downloaded WWE app on your phone, would you have been able to watch it?
I wouldn't have been able to watch it.
And you would have been SOL on that.
Hashtag heartgasm. Ejaculating.
Okie dokie, this train of OTRS Central positivity continues to roll down the tracks, and we get to the main event of the evening. For the second week in a row, Curtis Axel is main eventing.
Absolutely.
First against Triple H on Raw, and then against John Cena.
Yes.
I mean, this doesn't get a much bigger spot for a young talent
Nope.
like a Curtis Axel than this. And you know, you look at this match, and he kind of held his own in this one. He got to show
Very
even
much
more
so.
than last week.
In fact, he had the advantage throughout most of the match. Wasn't that a great perfect class?
That was an absolutely perfect plex. Like somebody in his family used to use it as a finisher. But you know what I really like the most about this is the unique type of spin they're putting on the Curtis Axel gimmick and his character. I love the fact that he's winning matches via countouts or stoppages, and we're not even paying attention to him winning because it's assumed. It's like we're supposed to already know that Curtis Axel is going to win. Like the guys like the Triple H's and the John Cena's, these Hall of Famers are no match. They have no chance in hell. So why even bother bringing it up?
Don't need to.
Cena should be distracted by the ambulance and be going at it with Ryback because he knows he's no match for Curtis Axel, and he proved it tonight.
0.
Curtis Axel is going to be a world champion by the end of the year. I'm positive about that.
I agree.
Thank you. Anal-rific. See, this Raw was such a positive experience for us, and we appreciate it so much that we tried to squeeze everybody on camera just for you to show our appreciation for this week's Raw. And the appreciation train starts with you, Mike.
I thought this Raw was great from beginning to end. It had a lot of matches, a lot of tag teams, a lot of guys out there. I enjoyed it.
What about you, Metal D?
It was awesome. I rolled into the house at 5:30 this morning, and I didn't fall asleep during this Raw. This was great.
What about you, Triple T?
I said it once, and I'll say it again. It was the best there is. It was the best there was. And it's the best there ever will be.
When you look at this show, you had a couple of matches being announced and developed for the pay-per-view. You've got new guys being featured like The Shield and Curtis Axel. And we didn't even talk about Bray Wyatt and his family coming. Woo! You want to see what Waylon Mercy could have done in the WWE? You're going to find out here with Bray Wyatt and his crew. Things are looking up for the WWE. I think this is going to be a very, very exciting and interesting summer in the months to come. And I have total appreciation for this week's Raw.
Chisholm. Orgasmic. Splooge.